Good morning from Colorado, or whatever time it is whenever you hear this. All four of you. Thank you for my loyal fans and friends and followers and subscribers and whoever you are. And you lurkers who never hit the like button or make a comment. I see you in my third eye. Okay, so we're on a deadline. Tick tock, not just the app, but the clock. Is running down on. Apparently, the U.S. has now become the kind of country that threatens to blow up other countries if they don't do what we want. Because we're toddlers throwing tantrums. And someday it's going to be seen that this is just a person with dementia. This is like a Mad King George the sequel. This is what we got away from. This is how America was founded. We're just, history is repeating itself. And we can't just cross the seas and start fresh to get away from the tyrant. This is what we're stuck with right now, for now, until somebody's a grown up in the room and takes a real swing at Donna, as I call her, because someday this will be seen also that this is a bio-female cosplaying as a male its whole life. That's what a Satanist does, is they cosplay as the opposite gender. And they do that because that's an Illuminati, satanic, Luciferian religious practice. Because it counts towards their kill quota. Isn't that great? So they are steal, kill, destroy. That's their whole operating system, as we are seeing right now through Donna's threats, through her menopausal, I kind of feel like they must go through menopause and puberty every full moon, because that's when they do their rituals. That's when they drink their adrenochrome. This is all speculation for entertainment and information purposes only. It could be disinfo, it could be theory, or it could be fact and truth. Time will reveal it all. However, those birthing hips and tiny hands and soft jaw reveal it to me. Because once you start learning the skeletal markers, like there are 52 of them, think like a deck of playing cards. There are 52 gender markers, things like brow ridge, the clavicles, the hip, the Q angle, the gait, how people walk, how they go up and down stairs. So I've said, easy way to remember is if a biological male is going up and down stairs, their knees will touch. That's why you see all the supermodels and the their MTFs, the male to female, looking like adolescent boys and who never developed, because that's really essentially biologically, theoretically what they are. So Donna is probably constantly going through puberty and menopause and dementia, and throw in being in a cult and performing under pressure. And she's having a hard time lately, right? She's melting down. She's sundowning. She's, having tantrums and fits like a pregnant woman, or a menopausal woman, as I was having my tantrums and fits during the pandemic, which was Operation Genocide Warp Speed. Her other finest moment of wanting to kill people and being sneakier about it that time. This time just real blatant, real obvious that the bloodlust is up, right? So you can just dismiss this as TDS if you need to, or as wild ass, theories. But you do any kind of research, or if you have any, discerning eye, and you look at the skeletal forensics, which they do when they're solving murder cases. So this is not a pseudoscience. This is very real. It is, through observation. But once you start seeing it, you can't unsee it. And it is rampant. And I maintain it is all of them. And it is a requirement to be in the cult. And they do it to their children. And this is not to say anything negative towards your average, everyday trans person who was also duped and doesn't understand this is a satanic so-called elite practice, and generational, multi-generational incest and murder and cannibal families. Those 13 bloodlines, because they love their blood. If you look at it and you pull way out, you look at the Christians and the Satanists, and they all love blood. They all talk about blood all the time, being covered in the blood, covered in the blood, covered in the blood. In fact, right before Astroworld, Kylie Jenner did a satanic baptism, is what it's called, allegedly, according to whistleblowers, overcomers, and defectors of the Masonic cult. and was covered in blood. Put a picture up, and it was for some makeup campaign, right? And then Astroworld happened and 11 people died. So they will signal to you when the sacrifice season is up, which right now we are in the thick of it because Easter's like their satanic Super Bowl and the Super Bowl is their satanic Super Bowl. So they have all these front-facing things they do, like charities and fundraising and, virtue signaling about plastic straws. But yet there's crickets on Epstein and one arrest, one woman in jail, right? And then other people losing their titles and their properties and their money. Oh, my goodness. While children lost their lives and their virginity and their sanity and their ability to live as a free and whole and healthy human, right? So we're supposed to feel sorry for what? Like the royals who are, again, all gender inverted and pretending to be princesses when they're not, when they're males. Or moon bumpers and moms when they're not, they're males. These are males in drag. So someday woman face will be seen as inappropriate and wrong as blackface is seen. Because if you're going to pretend to be another race, you're going to pretend to be another gender, that will be considered mockery and that will be considered an abomination of some sort. Not that gay people are an abomination. Let's be very clear. Anybody on the alphabet spectrum of LGBTQIA, B, C, D, E, F, G, if you're out and proud and you love your wife or your husband and you're having, families and living openly and not hurting people with being closeted or bringing STDs to them by lying about who you are and what you do in bathrooms and bushes, as Chantel Hyde, Canada's dating coach, says, they're DL guys who hang out in the bathrooms and bushes with other men and then bring their diseases home to their lavender wives, right? So nobody wants that. Nobody. So what am I ranting and raving about all the gender stuff for? Because I'm showing you that if you had to live a lie from womb to tomb and you had to cosplay your whole life, like, you would go crazy. And you would go crazy at regular intervals and you would have tantrums. And if you believe in astrology, throw in Gemini into the mix. And we have Jekyll Hyde. We have Donna the kitten who, looks like the happy little grandma on the golf course. And then we have Donna the tyrant who, frankly, never did lock anybody up for frazzle drip, though she promised to. Never did build a wall, though she promised to. Taco, right? Trump always caves to something. Collapses, caves, communicates in a way that even toddlers are actually more intelligent with their crashouts, and more articulate. So there are theories that creature has been dead for many years and we're dealing with lookalikes and psyops and rubber masks, and one could believe anything at this point, aliens, demons, whatever, right? So the point, is there a point? I don't know. I'm just talking about this deadline, even their Masons love their wordplay. The deadline for not blowing up Iran is ticking away this lovely Monday. And all I want to say to the people of Iran is I'm sorry. I'm sorry we have such a child in charge of the red button and of the missiles, and that nobody here is strong enough to stand up to her. And I do it in my words, and that's as far as I can go because I've gotten so many death threats over the years, and there's only so far I'm willing to push it because I'm here until I'm not, and I'm not suicidal, and I'm not going paddleboarding anytime soon, and I'm not going to be forcing myself off a bridge or getting into a bus accident like the other whistleblowers have. So, I go as far as I am willing, and then I stand back and observe some more, and then I launch some more words that go nowhere because I'm shadow banned and censored, except if you're listening to this, maybe you're one of the few elites in my world that snuck through, because that's my new definition of elite, is someone who is fully awake and fully aware of the Masonic and demonic hierarchical structure that tries to believe that it controls us and that it can rain hell on us, when in fact that is not one human's decision who goes to hell and who goes to heaven. That is Creator's decision, not a president's decision. So can that person make it very uncomfortable for the children and women and innocents of Iran right now? Absolutely. And probably will, out of ego and out of desperation. Because again, cosplay, you got to be the tough guy. You got to swing your fake dick around and throw some missiles out there just to save face and distract from Epstein, right? Right, Donna? Right. So, anyone who has to wear that much orange makeup is a lie. Their face is a fucking lie. Your gender is a lie. Your agendas are lies. You're a New World Order puppet and a shill, and everybody knows it. And all the world leaders are also playing along. They're not innocent. They're also in the Masonic checkerboard game, the Game of Thrones game, the art of war, the art of the deal, the art of lying, your whole fucking life. Can you imagine? No wonder he, she, it, they, them is freaked out. No wonder. No wonder, no wonder, no wonder, right? So they're willing to commit any crime. They can do anything they want, like grab them by the pussy. This is dominator and oppressor and abuser talk. That is how people who are very weak and very insecure and very powerless talk, with big threats and timelines and deadlines that are forced, that are false, that are fake urgent, to fearmonger and to loose you. So see through it, as I always say, see through it. See beyond it. See into the mechanics of it, that they're posturing for position in the cult. They're always trying to, if they shove someone out, like a Pedro Pascal or a John Hamm all of a sudden, they're positioning themselves for a new level of power, push out Jim Carrey, rise up, take that spot. They always are doing this. They're just one giant cult with different covens, okay? And different power positions within and different ranks. And everything they do that's a humiliation ritual is either to rise up and get more money, more opportunities, more Grammys, more Oscars, more, accolades of some kind in their world. There's those little rainbow medals they love to give out like candy. So these are Satanists, you guys, and they hurt children. That is their main goal in life. That is their food. That is their source of pleasure and pain and sadism and masochism, is that they are locked in by their blackmail and by their vows of silence. So none of them should be in charge of anything real or important. Take grandma's keys away, stick her in the nursing home, on a golf course, we'll give her that, and then tell her to shut the fuck up and go away. People think, well, you've got to vote them out, you got to, impeach, you got to invoke the 25th. No, at this point, it's take the fucking keys away from the crazy person. That's what it is. And I can tell you that because at one point when I was suicidal, when I was 33, about to be 55, we're looking at 22 years ago now, they took my keys away when they thought I was a danger to self and others, right? You shouldn't have the keys to the country or the free world if you are on, 3 a.m. tweet rants. You do not have the capacity, the competency, or the mental, groundedness to lead anything. And I said years and years ago, Donna's only going to lead us into hell. And here she is proving me right? And so Melania's the male in that one, by the way. And, there are pictures of Melania, 14 years old, with a massive Adam's apple, okay? But nobody wants to look at that. Nobody wants to believe that part of it because that sounds too crazy. All the rest is fine. No, maybe it's aliens. Maybe they're reptilians. Maybe they're Masons and they're human. Subhuman, subpar humans, fake humans, bad humans, evil humans, dark humans, hijacked humans, compromised humans, possessed humans. Yet, nevertheless, they don't have the power they think they do. And Creator is the one who assigns heaven and hell, not Donald Trump. So there you go. This is my rant for the day. If any of you hung in there with me, thank you so much. And I hope you have a most excellent Monday or whatever day it is, wherever and whenever you listen to this. But hey, do like, share, comment, and subscribe, because maybe I'll get out of this algorithm jail they try to put me in, because I rant and rave about all the crazy things that happen to be true, and truth plus time will prove it out. Just like it did when I knew about the priests and their rampant grossness back in the 80s, before anyone knew, before lawsuits happened, before jail time happened for any of them, before they played pedo-priest chess and they just moved them around to new parishes with new supply. That's what they do when they launch a war, you guys, whether it's Ukraine, whether it's this Israel-Iran conflict. They are going in not just for oil, not just for lithium, not just for uranium, not just for resources. They're going in for the children of these countries as food, okay, and as sex toys. So when you get that, you will never vote again. You will never go to another Super Bowl game. You will start growing your own food. You'll start becoming, more almost libertarian, independent, off the grid, fuck the government. Because, yeah, fuck people who eat babies and lie about it and do massive cover ups and start fake wars to, avoid their consequences. Fuck that. And am I angry? Yeah. Aren't you? If you really knew what I know, and I don't want to know it, believe me, I'd love to unknow it and pretend I don't know it, but I don't have that luxury. But if you knew even a fraction of what I've learned about this cult over the last decade, you would be, in outrage every moment of your life until they were eradicated, every last one of them, and until every single woman and child was safe on this planet. So fuck your fake deadline, Donna. Calm the fuck down, kitten. And everybody who's posturing and dick swinging with their little egg-shaped baby carrot dicks, because that's the genitalia thing we don't even understand. Do they have a cloaca? Are they amphibious? No. They're humans with deformed and malformed genitalia. They wear moon bumps to pretend they're pregnant. They wear ties and baseball hats to pretend they're male. They are, just satanic freaks, you guys. And that, again, is no shade to anybody who feels they were born in the wrong body or wants to do gender reassignment after 25 when the frontal lobe is fully formed. This is a satanic, elite, gender inversion trans practice that they do to, move towards their kill quota needle, because if they trans their son, they killed their daughter. If they trans their daughter, they killed their son. It is that fucking diabolical, okay? And they are supposedly incentivized, $20 million per kid that they gender invert. It keeps the, illusion going. And I just can't imagine being that much of an actor and a fake and a dupe and a liar and a clown. I think I'd be pretty pissed off too. So poor Donna, we just have to pity her, pray for her, but more often than that, we have to pray for the children that she is targeting, because she is unhappy and she is lonely and she is angry because her childhood was robbed from her and she's wounded, and that is severe trauma. And this person is clearly acting out of trauma. Again, probably dementia. And who knows what goes on with the adrenochrome, and puts Swiss cheese holes in the brain. And so there is my crazy for the day. Is it the kind of crazy you were looking for today? There it is. There it is. Here we are. Much love. Just give yourself time to process and digest this one. You might want to listen to it a few more times. You'll catch things you didn't catch the first, because I'm in probably what I would call channeling mode. It's just coming through me in a full transmission. And if you get it, you get it. If you know, you know. And if you don't, try to stretch your consciousness to understand. And if you can't, just scroll along. It's all good. Much love.